Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. So the annoyed man asks a question. What do I think? Why am I at this angle? What do I think about 9mm versus 45? So I'm just going to take that and springboard off of it. So none of this has to do with you, annoyed man. But it has to do with calibers in general, and particularly when people consider the universality, the universalness of a particular caliber over another. And I'll give you an example. Haven't heard it in a long time, but there used to be this raging debate about, do I get an AR-15 or an AK-47? Because when the Chinese and Russians invade, they're going to have AKs. So I want an AK because it carries the same, it'll shoot the same ammo they have in case I get some ammo. You ever see that movie Ronin? That movie, I guess it wasn't directed as well as it was written. There's a lot of good stuff in that movie, but the movie itself is Bobby De Niro's in it. And in it, there's another relatively famous guy. He was in Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name, British actor. And he asked Robert De Niro, so what kind of weapon do you like? You like the 45? De Niro's like, whatever, man. They're just tools. And they are. A 45, all things being equal, is more effective than a 9mm. It's bigger. Boom! Would you rather get punched in the nose by me or the bear? He's a little bit bigger than me. But I hit faster. See? 9mm 45. The reality is you don't want to get hit by either one of us. You don't want to get shot by a 45 or a 9mm. One of the arguments or ideas brought up was that, well, 9mm, there's more 9mm out there. So if I'm traveling, I'll be able to get ammo in a grid down situation. Because if you're traveling today, you can get 45 ammo just like 9mm ammo. They sell it on the same shelf. It's stacked right next to each other. It's not a difficulty. So in a grid down situation, you know, police officers are using 9mm and yeah, a lot of them are using 42, but and the same thing with the AK, you know, 5.56 versus 7.62 by whatever it is, 39. Well, if the Russians invaded, now they're not carrying that anymore, right? They're carrying some kind of 5.56 little round. Here's the reality. In a grid down situation, I'm talking about compatibility, universality of ammunition. I know one of you will give me the right word. If you're finding ammo, you're going to find weapons to go with that ammo. Does that make sense? You're not just going to find a box of ammo sitting there by itself. You know, it's not like the police officers are driving around throwing boxes of whatever they carry in their duty weapon out of their car, like Easter eggs or something. Right? Come on. If there's dead people lying around and you can take their ammo, if you don't have a weapon that fires that ammo, you can take their gun too. Haha. See? It's all good, man. It's just a tool. It doesn't matter. That's the biggest point right there. Don't ever consider the universalness of ammo. I just don't think it, I mean, don't get some, you know, weird, what do Webleys fire? You know that break action revolver? I have a friend who collects them. I think he's had some converted that can fire 45. It's got little half moon clips, but I mean, you know, some weird esoteric caliber, you know, probably not a great idea. But then again, how much ammo do you need for your handgun? See, that's the other thing. It's like one of those fantasies, man. Well, in a grid down situation, I want to be able to scavenge ammo for my handgun. Really? Really? You don't think you can store enough ammo that you're going to use in a grid down situation? I mean, how many rounds do you think you're going to be firing out of your Glock or SIG or whatever you have and still be walking and breathing and, you know, no holes in you? I'm thinking if you think you need to shoot more than about 200 rounds out of your handgun, you got to figure out your tactics better. You've been hanging out with the wrong people. I just don't think you're going to need that much, man. This isn't going to be hordes of zombies coming at you. And firefights go both ways. And so, you know, if you can afford a handgun, you can afford a lifetime amount of ammunition, grid down Tiawaki SHTF ammo. You might not be able to immediately afford, you know, all the ammo you're going to buy from now until whatever for training and practice and things like that. But then it doesn't matter what kind of ammo you get for that because you can order it online, delivered to your door now. I mean, it just doesn't matter. Even Webley ammo. And so compatibility with, you know, common calibers, not that important. It's like one of those things, you know, I have this gun that'll, I've got all these inserts into my single shot 12 gauge. I've wanted to buy those just because it would be cool. I could shoot anything out of this single shot shotgun. I've got a, you know, a 20 gauge adapter, a 410 adapter, a 357, a dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and anything I find I can shoot. So what? I mean, really, so what? If you see yourself as, you know, first of all, I've only got one gun and I've got my rucksack and I'm heading off into that. Another cloudy day. Your plan's bad. But if that's what it is, I'm thinking you can probably carry enough ammo. You know? You're not assaulting buildings and bunkers and trench lines. You're not a soldier. You're a survivor. If you see a scenario up there that's going to require you to expend, you know, a basic load of ammo, dude, you need to go the other way. Yeah, but what if you get caught in it, man? You're probably going to die. Fantasies and reality. Handgun. Carry a handgun that's effective. You know, I would say a 9mm 38 special is probably the least amount of caliber you want. A 380, 22, man, that's an eyeball gun. You know, I mean, will it work? Sure. Shot placement is everything, man. You can bring down an elephant with a 22. I know, but I'd rather have like a 416 Rigby if that's what I was going to do. I say carry the biggest gun you're willing to carry, honestly. Carry the biggest gun you're willing to carry and know how to shoot it. You know, shooting somebody, unlike the movies, you hit somebody here with a 45, their arm's not going to fall off and they're not going to blow back 15 feet and lay there in a daze. Right? It ain't going to happen. So there's that. It's kind of like I did a video recently where I talked about cars. I don't really care. Somebody made another comment too on YouTube. I've been reading the comments lately because somebody accused me a couple months ago of not responding to a comment on YouTube comments. And so I went back because I hadn't been reading my comments on YouTube. And I went back and started looking at them and they were whining about nothing. But I have been reading comments and somebody said something about, I think it was on my AK-47 video, which I kind of liked. I had fun making that one. And they said, you're giving people crap about accessorizing their M4s, you know, Barbies for men. And you carry the most accessorized handgun ever, the Glock. Except I haven't accessorized it. I put used skateboard tape on the slide. That's it. Oh, and on the handle. That's all I did. You know, so yeah, you could accessorize anything. Why? Function. That's the thing. So, as far as getting a gun that everybody else has, the one exception I make is if you're in a group, you should have compatibility. If you're over there laying down fire and I'm over here laying down fire and one of us needs a magazine, the other guy ought to be able to toss him one. Oh, the other thing I saw, I think it was in that question to me, well, spare parts, spare parts are good. I need spare parts. And I probably have a better chance of finding spare parts for a Glock than something else. Where are you finding these spare parts? Is it a store? In your mind? I think in the mind, the thought is it'll be throwdowns or drops or, whatever. Somebody will have dropped one of these ubiquitous Glocks and then therefore I'll be able to take the parts and use it. How about you take yours and throw it in the box for somebody else and take this new Glock and use it, no matter what caliber it is, 40, 45, 9 mil, whatever. Again. And here's another thought. I'll probably do another video on this. In any kind of total catastrophe kind of thing, big Teotihuacan man, there are going to be a lot of dead people for various reasons. That means there's going to be a lot of stuff out there. You probably don't need to stock up on a lifetime's worth of Levi's. Probably be able to find some. All right, just some thoughts on ammo. It's just a tool, man. Like I said, 9mm and up, carry the biggest gun you can comfortably carry and learn how to shoot it. Shot placement is everything. All right, see you out there.